Hello humans, I thought I'd make a sim racing video. I've never done one of these before, so please bear with me. It's going to be full of umming and ahhing and various mistakes. This is Automobilista, and this is Cascavel circuit. I'm going to do 7 laps against the AI, which is set at 100% on high aggression. I'll just press the pause button. These are cars from the latest DLC from Automobilista, the Brazilian touring cars. And these particular cars are from the Copa Cup FL category. There are 4 different types of cars in this. Firstly, the VW Passat, that's what I'm driving. If we look to the right, there's a Fiat Uno. There's also a VW Gol, G-O-L, or Golf as you may know it. And you can probably see it on the right there. There's a VW Beetle, or a Fusca as it's known in Brazil. Right, enough chatting, let's get going. Wish me luck. Now, if you can hear some rattling, sorry about that, that's my wheel. No way to avoid it at the moment. Right, a bit more info about these cars. They're all front-wheel drive, apart from the Beetle, the Fusca, which is rear-wheel drive. The Beetle has 4 gears, all the other cars have 5, I think. I hope that's not too confusing. None of them have too much power. This Passat has 153 horsepower or so. But they're all a lot of fun to drive. In fact, driving this Passat is a bit like driving a wasp. It always sounds angry, and it will definitely sting you if you're not careful. Let's back it off. Foot down. Right, I don't know too much about driving 4-wheel drive cars, or indeed front-wheel drive cars, or indeed rear-wheel or all-wheel drive cars. But I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Basically, if you want to turn the car, you dab the brakes, and that makes the nose dive in, and then you accelerate to straighten the car. That's the theory anyway. Choose an early 3rd gear to drag the car up the hill. Now, about all this rattling and clicking you can probably hear. I'm using a Logitech Driving Force GT wheel. It's second-hand and it's held together by dust and sellotape. But it's probably the best budget force feedback wheel ever made, in my humble opinion. I bought it for £70 second-hand. And if you're the type of person who likes racing games, sims, call them what you will, and has a controller, nothing wrong with that. Play the game how you want to. But if you're curious about trying a sim with a force feedback wheel, I recommend the Driving Force GT. So have a look on eBay or Craigslist or your local equivalent, because when the force feedback is properly set up, using a wheel in a racing sim is just buckets and buckets of fun. The Driving Force GT's pedals aren't very good. There's only 2 of them for a start, so there's no clutch pedal. As I muck up the gear change there appropriately. So I'm using auto clutch in the sim, but I'm not using auto blip, so I'm blipping the throttle when I shift down, as I'm going to demonstrate, hopefully. That's the blip, which always makes me feel like a racing driver, which is half the battle. Now this corner is the best and worst corner for a front-wheel drive car. It's the definition of two-footed driving. Constantly battling to keep the speed up and yet get the nose turned. And the steering's a bit heavier in these cars than in other cars in Automobilista. I think it's probably a reflection of their vintage. But it means there's a lot of road feel, there's a lot of information, so if you do crash, you usually know why. And if you're the type of person who likes to drift cars, I'm not very good at that, but all I can say is when you try to drift a car, normally you have to make a car drift. These, you don't get the option. They will drift whether you like it or not, and it's up to you to decide how much they're going to drift. There's a case in point. Right, keep the foot in, and we got away with that. So these are a lot of fun. Now Cascavel, I shouldn't have gone down to fourth, I'm not used to talking and driving. Cascavel is Portuguese for rattlesnake, I think. Make of that what you will. And I'm driving it in a magical car. Don't believe me? Well, have a look at the bonnet. Notice something a bit off? That's right, there's no engine. Well, this is a rare oversight on Riser Studios' part. They're very good at picking up bugs and things, but I'm sure they'll cure it in an update. They do update regularly, but in the meantime, perhaps Elon Musk might be interested in this magical car. Now let's see. Brake, change gear, tap the brake to get the nose in, get the throttle on, and there we go. Right, so let's have a tour. This is Basin Corner, or Basiao, I think. Let the car drift down, dab the brake to get the nose turned in, put the power on, don't drift out, and there we go. And this next corner is Mergulu, which is dive or diving corner. It's got a nasty weight shift into the S corner, SA. This next corner is Agua, or water. And we're coming up the hill to Seis, or sixth corner, and after that, surprise, surprise, is Seichi, or corner number 7. So, although Cascavel is a fine circuit, Formula 3 have held races here in the past, it's a bit lacking in corner names, in my opinion. I wouldn't mind seeing a Barrichello curve or something like that in the future. This is corner or 1. Okay, let's go for it. I think they should call this Coward Corner. I've seen a video of these cars in real life racing in the Copa Cup, and on almost every lap someone goes off at that corner. Well, anyway, if you like racing sims, give Automobilista a try. It's got a lot of variety when it comes to vehicles. Not a great number of vehicles, but nearly all of them demand a different driving style. And the DLC, this Brazilian DLC, is a lot of fun. I haven't even got to the higher powered cars, the souped up hot cars, and no doubt I'm going to crash a few times in those. And this should be the end of the race. Thank you. Right, 5th place. And I shall call this a day, I think. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please tell me, and if you hated the video, and in particular all the rattles and noises that you can hear from my wheel, please tell me. I'd be genuinely interested to know. Or if not, just go about your merry way. Anyway, I'll stop here and annoy the stewards and say thank you for watching. Goodbye.